God Almighty, and with all sense of humility, that I welcome you to the 41st Annual National Scientific Conference of the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, tagged Agbomamma Esom-Ibe. The theme of this year's conference, Never Waste a Crisis, Community Pharmacists Learning for Future Preparedness, amplifies our level of unpreparedness in handling medical emergencies pre-COVID-19. Yet, opportunities abound during such crises. Opportunities to apply our training and skills to improve the health of the society, professional fulfillment, and economic growth. I crave your attention as we listen to a highly cerebral speaker, the Executive Director of MPH-CDA, Dr. Faiz Al-Shuaib, to do justice to this eye-opening theme. In addition, our array of distinguished speakers, moderators, and chairmen of the different plenary sessions are competent, ready, and well prepared to deliver on the various topics we need to x-ray at this conference.
On stage, the one and only pharmacist Agbomamma Esom-Ibe for CPC Award for organizing such a very pleasant conference. If you believe that this conference is pleasant, please clap your hands together for pharmacist Agbomamma Esom-Ibe.
Dance competition today. A lot of prizes are going to go out for the Buga dance. I want to introduce to you and welcome to the stage, pharmacist Agbomamma Esom-Ibe. Welcome, ma'am.
Wow. She's conspicuously obvious, naturally endowed, Africanized.
Don't sleep, wake up. Wake up.
Don't walk, you don't try.
wasn't like I had planned to be a pharmacist all the while I was in the secondary school. But when I was filling the brochure, I saw it, checked the dictionary, then there was no Google. And I decided that that's the course I would like to do. And that was how I studied pharmacy and became a pharmacist. And then as I graduated, I discovered that my passion lay more with community pharmacy practice. I leaned more on it, because there's that interaction between you and the patient directly. So you get to see the patients, you get to clerk them, you get to talk to them, and the most satisfying thing is you give medications and they get better, or you give some medical advice, especially the pharmaceutical care. When you give some non-pharmaceutical, pharmacological advice, you're not giving any medication, but you're just giving advice. Now, I think your problem is this drug. You actually suffer from the side effect of a particular medication you are on. Person drops the medication and gets better. There's this satisfaction you have. There's this joy that you're making a difference. And you don't have to give every patient drugs. Everything is not about drugs. So that way people come to respect the profession and appreciate who a pharmacist is. And I also love public health. I do a lot of health talk, a lot of health education. I do a lot of screening, like in my pharmacy, which is AB Pharmacy in Port Harcourt. I do vaccination too. I had even gone to the maximum security prison in Port Harcourt on a World Hepatitis Day and screened over 400 prisoners for hepatitis B. We support with some companies too. So basically, I have this passion for public health and for community practice. To be an architect, actually. When I was in primary school, I didn't lean towards medicine. I wanted to be an architect because that excitement that someone could make a building grow, that was how I saw it when I was in primary school. You could just draw a building or draw something on a piece of paper and it morphs into a building, a structure. I wanted to be an architect. Well, when I got to junior secondary school, I had this technical drawing teacher who wasn't so very friendly. So that was a turn off. Had a lot of vertical, horizontal, and the man was always giving you this impression that none of you are good enough. Then I started thinking that was when I started thinking about the medical sciences instead of something like architecture. Well, architecture was my passion. As a child, I used to see myself as an architect. But that discouraged me in junior secondary school, so I started thinking medicine. And then at that point, I knew I could practically read any course I wanted to read because I had the flair for the sciences and for the arts. Practically everybody in my family was arts inclined. So I read a lot of novels, read a lot of books. Practically read all the works of Shakespeare. So I know that in the arts I could do well. And in the sciences, I was holding my own very well. But after that interaction with my technical drawing teacher, I started thinking medical sciences. And I was like, okay, it's okay, you touch life better when you're in medical practice. That was when I started thinking medicine until it was time to write JAM. And I was going through then. JAM had a brochure my own time. I was going through the brochure and I stumbled on pharmacy. So it took everybody in my family by surprise. Pharmacy? How? Not medicine and surgery. There was no time I ever thought of giving up on pharmacy. It wasn't as easy, right? School of Pharmacy is not walk in the park. But I stuck with it. It was interesting. I had some lecturers who it's like their life mission was to build a lot of confidence in you as a pharmacist. You should be proud of who you are. So I never dreamt of giving up. I had a lot of interesting classmates too, course mates. So I never thought of giving up at all. It's like I just, how do I put it? I walked into what my calling was, so I wrote with it. As it is, even now, I'm not thinking of doing it fancy. The lioness. I went to the University of Nigeria, Sudan. I'm a proud lioness. Anytime, any day. It was a good experience, but my advice for any student of pharmacy would be make sure you do a lot of, how will I say it? We call it PP. You go for IT per se, something like IT, so you can match what you're taught in school with what happens in actual practice. It will help, side by side. Like I did a lot of that during the holidays, and well, this festival they call ASU Strike didn't start today. It started in my time. You know why I call it festival? Someone outside the country asked the students in Nigeria, what's ASU Strike? What's ASU? And the young students in Nigeria said, well, ASU is an annual festival. And when that festival is on, students don't go to school. So this festival didn't start today. It started in my time. So anytime there was that festival called ASU Strike, I'll go to a community outlet and then walk. Pro bono. Not for pay, for anything. Just to learn. It kept me busy. Of course, kept me out of mischief. And then I was learning too. So by the time you're done with school, the practical aspect of what you've learned is just there for you to, you can fix it together, and they will fit it. Out there, they are neck and shoulders above what we practice. So for very obvious reasons, the Nigerian factor. It's tough being an entrepreneur in Nigeria because as a business person, you're the government. Why do I say you're the government? You provide every facility you need, even the basics. Sometimes you have to buy water or sink it or hole. You provide the electricity for yourself, provide power, especially alternative power. Like in my place, I have solar panels, I have an inverter, I also have a generator. Those are things the government is supposed to provide for you to thrive. And then you're going to employ security in your place where you're like a government. All that makes it difficult for you to thrive. And then in Nigeria, the county drug distribution system is one big problem. It's hydra-headed. It's a problem that's been battled over time and it's not getting any better. There are drug markets all over the place. There are patents all over the place. There are truckloads of issues that you don't even want to talk about. So these are so many other things are the things that make practice difficult. Very difficult from what happens out there. So, but we're trying. We're trying within limits of what we have available to us. We're trying. We're doing our bit. I met my husband something years ago. I got married in my 40th university actually. I was still a student in UAE. When I've been through recommendation, you know the way it happens in our culture. And then we came visiting to see, the lady in question. And I'll say that my husband, that's Mr. Godwin Esom-Ibe, is an amazing person. Maybe even before I was created, God kept him for a purpose, to marry someone like me. Because I've had the greatest household support any woman can have. Shall I give me the push? If I am having a discussion with my husband and I tell him, I'd like to climb this tree, but I need a rope. You hear him say, you don't need a rope, you just touch it and you're there. So I get all the push I want, or I need from him. He is even the one that will ask you, are you not going for conference this year? Are you not attending the ACPN or PSN conference? At some point, when the kids were a lot younger, My youngest is 15 years now. When the kids were a lot younger, because I've been active. He's the one that will tell you to get ready to go for conference. Any week, any month, I have to go for conference. He usually will take a casual leave for like a week. Stay with the kids, take them to school, and bring them back. What more can a woman ask for? What more can a wife ask for? And then, for every career woman, part of the secret is you must get organized. You must get organized. Like now I'm here, I have taken care of everything on the home front. As far as food, provisions is concerned, everything is tidy. Such a way that there are no difficulties. The only thing they do is miss you. But when it comes to stomach infrastructure, that's all taken care of. And for whatever it's worth, you leave the conference or wherever you want to, and try to make it up on the home front too. There are gaps. And most especially, I usually describe myself as a product of grace. I think that's basically what it is. I don't know why God loves me this much too. So His grace, because you can make all that effort and still not make people around you happy. You can make all that stress and still there are gaps or there are complaints. But like I said, I've had an amazing support system. And that's my husband. He's been awesome.
Are you ready?